interesting character because with we had several different. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but I go through a lot of different. Like the Wonder Years. You know how he goes through a lot of changes, and Daniel Stern's in his head talking with him. It's like that. So let me know what you think.
Can I just say I love your nonchalant impression of Mike McFarlane? It's like Mike is so just like, hey, what's up? Yeah, you're gonna be playing. And I mean, it's like he might as well just slipped it on a Post-it note under the bathroom door or something, while you're there. But
yeah.
Mike was really cool about and this just reminds me of how much fun he is to work with as a director, because Mike is really very funny and he's got a very dry sense of humor, but he's so good at because I was very nervous too, as all of us are working on a property of that scope. But Mike is so wonderful about just getting you there, and about making sure. For me in particular, he always gives me crap at the end of every take. It's always par. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, the acting meter picked up 1%. We'll go ahead and take that. He's always just making sure that
And he really loves the shows too. You should see. There's for example, for right now for Summer Wars. I mean, he is on that show talking about it all the time. So
and Summer War, that's a whole other man. We can make an entire convention off of Summer Wars if we start talking about that, because I love that show, that movie.
Well, it's got more showings.
I know, it's got more showings. Maybe. But anyway, we'll mention that another panel, because otherwise Todd and I can talk about that show all day. And Max. It's just to give props to Mike, who's an awesome director. I mean, he eats, sleeps, and breathes Fullmetal Alchemist, and any show he's working on. But Mike is the glue that holds it all together for the rest of us. So just make sure to give him a shout out. Who has a question? Let's see. It's out there, you with the, I see someone way in the back there. Yes, you with the cat ears.
What element or character do you miss the most that was eliminated from the first series when y'all read the second one?
So what character or element we miss?
What character or what quality to the first show do you miss the most that you think we should do in the second one?
That's a good question. Do you have any answers for that?
I haven't seen the first series, so...
Don't hate! Don't you hate? They were loving you 2 minutes ago, and now they're like,
they just turn on you
Ling! It was a conscientious choice. But
we'll have a big pajama watching party.
Exactly. Once it's over with, she's gonna go back and watch the whole thing.
We'll be here for 3 weeks.
I know, it's gonna be great. No showering, no brushing teeth. It's gonna be awesome.
Wait, I have to
shower.
I will not be coming to that party.
But it's Fullmetal.
Okay, I'll be coming to that party. But I will be showering and brushing my teeth. You can be sure of that.
I feel like I have to explain.
Explain.
Okay, I'm going to explain. We made a conscientious choice for me not to watch it because we thought Mike and I thought that if I did, I would have Aaron's voice in my head. And so I would be trying to impersonate him rather than making the character my own, and just having faith in the fact that Mike said I sounded enough like him to make everyone happy.
Well, if the director and line producer of the show says you shouldn't watch the first one, I guess that's okay.
Thanks!
And if you're doing the voice of one of the characters in the second version, okay.
Thanks!
You don't have to watch it.
And that's a very important thing, because you have to understand. I did this. Now, of course, I've watched the first one, umpteen times in my life because I'm a huge fan of it. But I tried to stay completely clear of it while doing this version, because you don't want your performance so overshadowed by what you think made the first one work, because you're not the director. That's the director's job to get you there, and so you just have to have faith in that. But to answer your question about if there's anything I miss between the two shows, not a thing, because to me they're two very different shows that stand very well on their own as independent works of art, and I think they're both incredibly wonderful. So I don't really compare the two very often. I mean, obviously most of the same characters and the same themes are touched, but they're very different shows in a lot of respects, especially once you hit that high water mark after 17 and it starts following the manga. So I don't miss anything from one show to the next, because I can always go back and watch the first one. So they're always there. It's not like a stage play, where you're like, oh, done, 1 weekend only. I mean, they're both really incredibly, I look at them as being, for the most part, independent. So nothing really, that's just my own quirky view. And that's all I have to say about that.
You know what? I just thought of something that I miss. The music. There were some really, really beautiful pieces of music in the first series. Some great songs. Now, by the way, let me just qualify that. I'm not saying the music to Brotherhood is bad. You hear? I never said that. What I said was there were certain pieces of music in the original that I loved. A lot of the opening themes were great. A lot of the musical instrumental themes that they used throughout the series for certain like moments and emotions were very powerful. And I did love a lot of the music from the original series. There's some great pieces for Brotherhood as well. But that was something that I really enjoyed about the first series. And they did a great job on Brotherhood too, but I did have a special love for the music. But I think that all of the elements that made the first series good are still in the second series. The humor, the suspense. In fact, I think it's even more weighty, more dramatic, you know what I mean? More powerful even in a lot of ways. New characters are fantastic. So I think it has all the same things that you loved about the first one, you know? Just mixed up a little different, you know, and served to you a little differently, you know?
Maxey, do you think watching the first series, it would mess with your process in the same way of George Lucas adding Hayden Christensen into Return of the Jedi?
Completely.
I thought you were going to say Jar Jar.
That's all.
I'm glad you said Hayden, although they're very similar. In the quality of their performance. Listen, be a Jedi! Die.
I will walk out of this room.
Oh, no, right? Oh, you don't want to be a Gungan?
Question?
Who's got, let's see, we'll go back. Let's see, yes, over here.
I have a question for Mr. Tatum.
Mr. Tatum. What am I, your English teacher? Sorry, busting your chops. Where are you? Where are you? I see you. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Are you satisfied with the Star's ending and life story that was portrayed more frequently in the
Again, I don't really compare the two because that's just kind of my mind compartmentalizes them. I'm very satisfied with Scar's ending in the original. It suits his character as that character sort of unfolds in the original. But because I have never read the manga, or I've only read the manga up to where it sort of coincides with episode 17 of Brotherhood, because I refuse to know how things end. I don't want to know. And Mike kept telling me, do you want to know how he ends up? Lives or dies, good or bad? I'm like, nope, 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 la, la, la. And I just finished it, like last week was my last session on the show. And without giving anything away for people who haven't seen it, though I'm sure most of you read the manga, I didn't know what to expect. I had several theories. They were all wrong. And I was extremely satisfied. And I even shared a little bit of a